Welcome to 15 minutes of problem-solving discussion with Fred Kuhn and our next guest.
Welcome, everybody. Workplace Strategies. Our guest today is Kathy Gamboa, VP of Market Transformation, and in that role, she has stabilized and refined a business model for 29 locations, which was a $144 million initiative impacting 75% of the company's workforce. As HR director for AT&T and TCI, Kathy led a team of 12 HR experts supporting over 1,200 employees in 3 states. Kathy, we're back again. Motivating the millennial. What does that mean? How do you motivate a millennial, and how do we incorporate millennial motivation drivers to the workplace? Let's start with what factors motivate a millennial?
It's so different, Fred, from your generation, my generation. We were raised on the premise of the American dream. You go to college, you get a car, you get married, you have a house, you have kids. Millennials aren't motivated from that same place with the traditional American dream. College, of course, is a priority. This is the most educated generation to date. They aren't buying cars because they're living in more downtown areas and they're using shared transportation to get to work. They're delaying marriage 4 and 5 years on average between men and women. They are not able to purchase a house at the time that they're looking for, and then that's usually been delayed about 5 years because they have been so heavily invested in their education and the debt that's associated with it. And because marriage and house is delayed, kids are delayed as well, 2 and 3 years based off of men and women. So it's a different American dream. They don't look at that and say, boy, that's what I want to aspire to, and that's really where I want my life to go is those 5 areas, because that's not what they're looking for. From an employer standpoint, Hartford did a study, and what was their work wish list? 40% were looking for opportunities with arts and entertainment, and 36% in education and technology. So you can see kind of a shift from some of the areas from their predecessors where it was more focused on, say, for example, when you go back towards some of the Depression era or the World War II era, it was very heavily manufacturing and work and physical labor. Moving now more into the creative and technology areas. Men are looking for more tech roles and women are looking for more arts and entertainment. And they're attracted to jobs that provide career opportunities, competitive salaries, flexible schedules, good benefits, and opportunity. And that's really important to them.
Then how do I incorporate in my company, or any manager would ask this logical question, what can I do and what motivational drivers can I install in my company to make them more productive and reduce turnover and all of the other things that we want to accomplish as managers?
Hartford study that I just mentioned previously, they talk about what they want. What are some of the things to drive and incorporate motivation into the workplace? 60% of millennials say they want to develop leadership skills. Now, 2 out of 3 millennials will say that they're a leader, even though they don't hold a leadership role. They really want to develop that skill set. They do see the boomer generation retiring, and they want to step in. 54% are looking for more technical skills. How can they better technically support their employer and be prepared for the changes of the new AI environment that's really kind of walking in and in some ways intimidating the millennials? 47% are looking for more financial skills. This is an area of opportunity for them, and where they may not maybe practice it, because we have found they do spend a lot more money on coffee and groceries and clothes than they do on retirement. They want more financial skills to help them be prepared. And then at the very end, 38% are looking for personal development. So ways that they can increase their own knowledge, their own ability to interact and be part of a team. Really, when you look at ways that you can incorporate different motivation drivers for your workplace, there's, as we've mentioned in a previous podcast, there's philanthropic efforts, technology, collaboration, communication. Those are things that they're looking for. But if you can bring that out through increasing their opportunity to enhance leadership, technical, financial skills, and then finally personal development, that really is a way to kind of seal that deal for that millennial to help them feel connected to your workplace.
Technology has had such an overwhelming sea change impact on the world and on all of us, and the generational changes too. It's amazing to watch. As a boomer, I watched your generation, I watched my millennial sons, and now I'm looking at younger people, and it's very interesting, the perspective that I have versus where a Gen Z has on the world with very little experience or age to gauge anything by.
Very true. And it's really interesting when you look at what we're using technology for. You know, we just started with the millennial generation to start using technology to assess performance, assess knowledge, help fill gaps in knowledge. And you'll see in the Generation Z group that we've really brought that to a different level where we can identify gaps in learning and knowledge in school to help create remediation plans, to help that individual bridge that gap and be able to do better. The millennial is so dependent on technology. When you look at Facebook, for example, they did an employee survey on, what do employees want? And they really are looking for career, community, and cause. And, really, it's something that when you're trying to engage this millennial generation, if you can use technology to help them increase their career, so your leadership skills, your technical skills, you've got community where they are feeling more connected, using things like different philanthropic or corporate social responsibility efforts. And then cause, finding something from a personal development perspective that allows the millennial to be involved and be involved the way they want to be involved, which may be different from how I view engagement. This is something that can be a driver for motivation in your workplace.
Once again, we've spent some wonderful and valuable productive time with Kathy Gamboa, an expert in this. Go read Kathy's bio in our guest biography section. Thank you for joining us today, Kathy. It's wonderful discussion on the millennials.
Thanks for joining us. If you wish to speak with Fred or you want a transcript of this interview, send an email to podcast@stuartcoopercoon.com. See you soon.